What's the dire need of the church in Africa? The church in Africa? This is it. Let's start from the top. Everything that exists today has a purpose. Everything has a purpose, and the church is included in all of these. So, in much the same way as your mobile phone has a purpose, the church also has a purpose. The dire need of the church in Africa is to go back to its original intent. If I should just tease your thinking a bit, when Jesus, as we have seen in Luke, the last chapters, was interacting with the disciples, and then the early chapters of Acts, interacting with the disciples on the same count. If we even add Matthew, the last chapter, we find out that Jesus gives a specific instruction to his disciples with regards what they should do so long as he's risen from the dead. I have not seen anywhere. If you have, you can just send us a message, maybe send us an email when we look at it. But I have not seen anywhere where Jesus says that go and set up churches. But we find that the first thing the disciples do after the Spirit has come upon them is to have a church. So how is it that the one thing you were told not to do is the first thing you find yourself doing somehow in this particular paradox? Is hidden the purpose of the church. In other words, the church was not necessarily a focus, but the church was a tool or a means to a certain end that was the focus. And so if the church in Africa is going to be any useful to the African and Africa in the whole, then the church in Africa must go back for that particular purpose for which reason the church came to be. Any other thing else you do, we will call it, when you use a thing right, this is the normal use. But when you use a thing wrong, it's an abuse. And abuse always comes with repercussions. Think about it.